Welcome to Sound Values, powered in part by LSA Burger.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in live tonight on DentonRadio.com, located in the beautiful Discover Welcome Center on the fantastic, yet very, very hot tonight, Denton Square. And I am here with a band that is very, very hot at the moment, playing a lot of shows around town. I'm here with Puddin, Taine. Gentlemen, how are y'all doing tonight?
Fantastic.
Really
Great.
hot.
Yeah,
Awesome.
everybody's looking good. I got to say, guys, I'm loving the gear.
Thank you.
I'm loving the matching outfits.
We made it.
It's fantastic. I know, and
We
I'm
made it.
a big fan. You guys have got some good stuff going on. So the first thing that I want to do, y'all, because unfortunately, although I love Puddin, Taine, I've only met y'all before. I haven't met the rest of the group. I've actually seen you play in another group around town.
Yeah,
though.
I also play in a hardcore rock band called Superior Supervillain.
Yes. Okay, that's what I
Yeah.
thought. Yeah, I've seen you guys
We
a
play a
couple
lot
times.
in Denton too.
Awesome. Yeah,
I love those
I've seen
guys.
y'all play before. So the first thing I want y'all to do is just go around and introduce yourself by name, starting right here, and what you do in the band, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, that, yeah.
I am Brandon Wildtain. Wait, where am I looking?
Right here.
Either way.
Oh, that one?
This
the,
one
The
right
one on the
here.
right.
It's
the one on
yeah,
the right.
that
Okay, let me
camera.
try
Yeah.
again. Okay. I am Brandon Wildtain Dowd, and I sing, play trumpet, and bring it.
Nice.
Yeah.
My
sir?
name
See that wink?
is
Like the slow back thing.
my name is Brett Basstain Crow, and I play bass, and I also do backup vocals.
Right on. You, sir?
I'm Brandon. What am I? Sweet Taine?
Sweet Tang!
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Arthur, and I'm the guitar
so-
player.
Right on, right on. And
It's
you,
so
sir?
sweet.
I'm Matt Robotane Cochran, and I play sax and keyboard and do some arranging and songwriting and stuff.
Very cool, very cool. And you, sir?
And I am Zach Haygood. I am Bang Tang.
Yeah.
Bang Tang.
Is it the bangs? Is that what we got going on?
I mean, I
exactly what it
assume
is.
that's what he got it from.
It's a double entendre.
I
Is
hear
it?
you.
Okay.
It's the uncanny likeness to an animal from the Muppets.
It's funny because I did.
See it
I
now.
was Animal for Halloween once.
awesome.
So
It
There's
makes
a personality
Yeah.
similarity, too.
For
sense.
sure.
It makes sense.
but
does yell
I
woman
take that
every
as a
time he sees
compliment
I
because
mean,
that's what I've
should.
always wanted to be since I was a kid.
An animal.
Anyways, I'm Zach Haygood and I play the drums.
Yes,
for
very,
Puddin Taine.
very good. Creates those funky rhythms.
Yeah.
So, guys, I'm very, very excited to have y'all here. This is the most people I've ever had in here at one time.
Hooray,
so,
we did it.
So yeah, we did
World
it. We
record.
pulled
Did
off.
it.
You guys,
did it.
you guys have done a
Thanks.
fantastic
GG.
job thus far. So the first question we always start off with asking everybody, or with people when they come onto the show, is your first musical memory. Kind of told y'all about mine. It was Garth Brooks lighting the guitar on Fire in his
So
Fire in
cool,
his
man.
America concert.
Yeah.
It was pretty sweet. So if we can just go around, what is one of your first musical memories that you have when you saw music and you were like, I kind of want to do that. Like that looks like fun. That's cool.
It was actually with this guy. And it
Nice.
was on this thing called Jam Cruise.
Okay.
And it's on this boat that usually goes to, like, the Caribbean,
Okay.
Caribbean,
Yeah.
depending on where you're from.
Yeah.
And it's just a bunch of bands, a bunch of awesome people, and a lot of alcohol.
Yeah.
And we just it was the experience of my
Just a
life.
good old dance party.
Yeah,
huh?
it was amazing.
That's awesome,
it was,
man.
Yeah.
That's really cool. That's really cool. How about you, my man?
This is so cool.
My parents were kind of really musical, like all my life. Like my first CD or tape, I guess I bought was Weird Al's Greatest Hits 2.
Really?
yeah.
Because I was really into wanting to do comedy and stuff at a young
Mhm.
age, and then I found that and was was obsessed with that for a long time and listening to oldies music. And then once I started playing bass at 14, after I listened to Sailing the Seas of Cheese by Les Claypool and I heard Tommy the Cat, I was like, I want to do that. So I just stuck with bass ever since.
Right on. Very, very cool. Very cool.
My dad was also, my family was musical. My mom was a ballerina, and my dad was a pedal steel lead guitar in a lot of Western swing country bands.
Very cool.
So I
man.
can't really attribute it to one, except that I just remember being, just any given night of the week, all of his friends would be over. They'd be drinking, having a good time, just hanging out. It wasn't really seem like practice. It was
Mhm.
like just a fun group mentality thing, and that's when I was kind of
Absolutely.
like,
So like your dad and his buddies, some people played poker or whatever. They would come over and just jam.
yeah.
Basically.
And it was
That's
also
cool.
they made money on it, but it
Nice.
also didn't seem like it was rehearsal.
Yeah.
You know,
It was
like
just guys
they were
coming
having a
together
good
and jamming.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys coming
exactly
together
like
and
what we do.
jamming. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's what I think that's how like a lot of bands start in the first place.
Yeah.
One guy comes out with a guitar, and you're like, oh, you play, and then you start playing together, and the next thing you know, a bunch of people come together, and you're jamming, and you're essentially your hangouts turn into jam sessions. So
Exactly.
that's
Yeah.
cool, man. So how about
Yeah.
you?
Well, I started playing saxophone for school, but I was never like super into it. But then I remember like listening to like people like Coltrane, Sonny Rollins, and like really hearing like a voice with the instrument more
Mhm.
than it just being some other thing that you'd hear in a band or something.
Yeah.
A written
Yeah, it kind of gave me like
representation.
inspiration to, be an awesome sax player and like, be really creative.
He is an awesome sax player.
Basically, I guess
Great
kind of when
sax
you're
player.
in
Opinion.
when you're in like
No, he's the best.
when you're in a band or when you're in a school band, it's very very structured on what you're supposed to do, and so when you listen to those artists, you kind of recognize how they, like you said, they give it a real voice. It's like Jimi Hendrix gave the guitar a voice. Stevie Ray Vaughan gave the guitar a voice. It was
kind of like being the opposite of illiterate. They can read and reinterpret a voice.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily have a voice of their own. Anyway, not to
Yeah,
interject.
no,
but, like,
totally. I agree with you, and don't ever apologize for interjecting at all. That's what's fun about it. Give your opinions, give the ideas, because that's you say that you heard that and you're like, okay, this person's really giving this instrument a voice of its own and allowing it to come through, and now that's inspired me to, like you said, become a better and just awesome sax player in general. As your man said right here, you're a great sax player, so
Exactly.
and
He
right now
brings that
right-
mindset to a lot of our music, and you can just tell just
Yeah.
from listening to what
and,
he
and,
does.
and the
yeah.
saxophone is hot right now. People
Yeah.
are loving the saxophone. I mean, everything from jazz, even EDM and popular
Yeah.
dance
Oh, yeah.
music and hip hop is using
Epic sax guy.
the saxophone. Yeah, exactly.
sax
Is using
guy,
the
yeah.
saxophone. So people are loving the saxophone these days. I'll tell you what. So how about you? What is one of your first musical memories that you have?
Oh gosh. Well, to be honest, like I've been playing drums pretty much my whole life.
Okay.
Since birth,
All
I knew
right.
pretty much what I wanted to do from the day I could walk.
Yeah, it was
basically.
play drums.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I grew up from a musical background. Both my parents are choir teachers, and they were also opera singers in the 80s. And they used to tour all over Texas and Arkansas, some Louisiana too. And so I grew up with that kind of a background with just a lot of funk, listened to a lot of Beatles.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah. Okay.
Ringo Starr was a very early influence in my drumming. And then it just kind of went on to like Mitch Mitchell of Jimi Hendrix.
Okay.
It's funny you were mentioning Jimi Hendrix because I always thought that Mitch Mitchell brought like that fast jazz persona to his drum playing. It's really cool. But then like when I was 14, I was on like a choir trip. We were going to South Padre, and this was back when we had CDs still.
Yeah.
Like I didn't own an MP3, so I brought like a ton of CDs with me.
You got the huge.
Yeah,
booklet
I
of
got like a
CD.
stack, and
Yeah.
like there was a CD my dad just happened to buy that I didn't even know of, and it was from a band called Rush,
Okay.
and it was like
The Holy
Spirit Radio,
Triumphant.
Greatest Hits, and like for that whole 7-hour bus ride, I did not change CDs at all.
Really.
I listened to that entire CD for 7 hours straight. And when I heard that intro to Spirit Radio and I heard Neil Peart's drum playing, or Neil Peart as he wants to call it,
Yeah.
it was like a calling. It was like, this is something that really speaks to me.
Yeah.
They're not only playing well,
Uh-huh.
really well written music, but it's smart.
Mm-hmm.
It's intricate. It's thought out. And Neil Peart didn't just arrive on the drum set and just play fast fills and play the rudiments like a lot of percussionists do. He wrote out like melodies and songs on the kit.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And when I heard that, I was like, this is amazing. I need to do this.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's
basically where I started from.
you just inspired me in that conversation.
it was an
right
inspirational
there.
moment
was
that just
good.
came out of the blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's very cool. I think that we all have our moments where, everybody, like you guys have all described it differently. Everybody, we've had our moments, and some of us were 4, some of us were 5, sometimes we're partying on a cruise boat, and
Yeah.
it's just right there. So
Yeah.
all that matters is that eventually there's a time where it hits you and you realize, like, music is something really cool that I really like and
Yeah.
that I want to do more often and play. And
I mean, I'm sure all of us didn't take music seriously until we had that spark.
yeah,
Just come in like
that.
that.
It
It just happens.
Yeah, it happened
so-
in high school. Yes.
Yeah. High school, yeah. Like last week, I was talking to Joe Higginbotham, who's going to be playing the show with us this week at Backyard on Bell. And I asked him, I was like, why did you start playing guitar? Like, what got you playing guitar? And he just, like, looked at me. He's like, the ladies.
That's how we all start off.
Yeah,
Let's be
and
honest. That's how you start off.
That's how it happens
Yeah.
at first. But then you're like, all right, But then you just then you fall in love with the music.
Well, I wanted to get rich and famous. So, I mean, I guess that's
Nothing wrong with that, man. Nothing wrong with that.
So the question that I have, and I'm going to leave it up to you who y'all want to answer this question. But what is a Puddin? You know. Like,
I mean, I think.
I guess you could say it's a mindset.
Yeah. I mean, because like at first I was like, is it pudding? No, it was Puddin.
Dunno,
Yeah.
You know?
It feels creamy.
The actual
Very creamy.
the actual
It's like-
Puddin name thing comes from like an old Irish proverb.
Okay.
Not a proverb, but like a limerick or something like that. Because that's where the whole Puddin's my middle name. Ask me again, and I'll tell you the same.
Okay.
Comes from like when we first got the name.
I'm not familiar with this. Like,
Yeah,
you just
yeah.
said
Yeah.
it
Oh,
like
no.
everybody's
Well,
heard of this before.
The way Puddin started, we started jamming together. Me and Matt have been jamming together since 2007, so about 10 years now, doing other bands and stuff like
Wow.
that for a long time.
Okay.
And then in about 2011, we started, me, Brandon, Matt, and our other drummer, Gabriel, we started being the house band at a variety show called Open Stage in Plano. We did that for a couple of years.
Nice.
And that's where we really, because we first started out playing like covers because that's what we thought they wanted, but then we talked them into just letting us jam for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So every Monday for like consecutively for about 2 years, we were able to just go and jam and create and do whatever we wanted for that whole hour and a half. Like that was our time to like just play music. And out of that, a lot of our original songs that we still play to this day came from those jams. Like
Very
we took
cool.
like some riffs that we had and just like honed it in and just kept playing them until he came up with lyrics, or there was a melody that Matt came up with on the saxophone to like actually bring the songs together. And
Would you
kinda
say
like
that,
yeah.
playing those shows, because I've seen y'all play before and I see photos and y'all are very theatrical.
I was
on
gonna say,
Yeah.
Michael, we prefer if you say you experience.
Yeah. I mean, you do.
Puddin', the ride, the
experience.
movie.
Yeah. That would be Universal Studio presents Puddin', the ride.
yeah.
In 3D.
It's a roller
In
coaster.
3D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always like to think about our like it's not just. I like to say that we're not just a band going up and playing. Like you see a lot of bands around town that'll just go up, "Hi, where's band?
Yeah.
And this is our
Yeah.
song. Here's another song, and this is our other song." Like we don't. We sometimes like introduce stuff, but a lot of times we're just going like directly into the things, and like we develop a story within a lot of the songs. Like
That's one of the things that there's other bands that do that in town too, where you go and you see them, and it really is an experience when you go. I mean, if you've ever gone and watched Star Party, that's an experience. You go see Mojo, that's going to be an experience. Even like the Boombox are a great experience as well.
Yes.
And it's just the way that those, and you can tell that those are people who have played, like you've been playing for 10 years, together, and you can feel that. And I love going to y'all. So there's a lot of energy, and there's also splices of comedy in there as well. There's
Definitely.
some
We like to have fun
comedic
with each
value.
other on
Yeah,
stage.
that's
what I'm
always
saying.
been a big
That's
part
like,
of my music,
yeah.
like anything that I've written.
Even when we've
And the
been
cool
just
thing
sitting
is
in
that-
here, y'all are
Yeah.
jocking back and forth the whole time. It's great.
The cool thing is that it just all comes naturally to us too. Like it's amazing when I play shows with these guys, and like we'll like look at each other and we'll sometimes figure out. Sometimes
like
we'll
right in
figure
the middle
out.
of the set. Like,
Yeah.
okay, here we go. 1, 2.
Yeah.
and you'll start. So does improv ever just kind of happen on stage, like all this, or do you guys stick pretty? So basically, like you're playing a song, and does all of a sudden that song kind of turn into a jam after you've kind of gotten the structure of it all going, or does that ever occur? Do you guys stay pretty strict?
It's about like 50-50, I would say.
Because sometimes
like,
that's what I'm saying. We can't tell. The audience
Yeah.
doesn't know. And
That's
so
the beauty of our product.
That's what I'm saying. And that's what's good is that y'all are going up there, and like I said, it's an experience. And all of a sudden, you're kind of watching. You're like, okay, like whoa, they're switching it up on us.
Yeah.
And then Brandon's over there going nuts with like a belly tee on, absolutely, killing it, having a great
Even
time.
that,
Yeah.
That's him. That's all him, man.
Yeah. It's and that's what I'm saying. It's an experience when you go. Like when people walk in and they see you playing, they watch, because they're like, okay, this isn't Let's
Let's see what happens.
That's
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
love.
Yeah,
Man, that's
yeah,
what I
yeah,
love.
And so,
seeing, yeah.
how did
my
everybody kind of come together to create this group that we have? You know, like y'all have been playing for a bit, but how did everybody kind of meet? Let's kind of start with how did you guys meet, and then how did everybody kind of become? Because y'all had
Yeah.
a different drummer at first, or somebody who was playing
It
with
was a
y'all,
lot.
and we've moved
Yeah,
on.
Y'all had
we
like
didn't-
I'll
what,
start.
2 other drummers.
Yeah, we'll start
So-
here.
Yeah.
When I first moved, I moved up here in 2005, and I believe that's the same year you moved up here, right, Matt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
So-
you move here for school?
Yeah, I moved here. For
Okay,
school.
cool.
So me and Matt had some composition classes together, so we had been hanging out through there. And then a couple years into it, I was like looking for musicians to jam with, and I wanted to jam with Matt because he played saxophone. That's one of my favorite instruments. And then we had another buddy that we jammed with. So after that, me and Matt had started some other bands, like with some other buddies around town. And then Brandon had moved into town in about 2007, 2008 as well with our other buddy.
I got kicked out of college and then I came back.
So he
I
was
did
living
not know
there
that.
I'm
and
an open
hanging
book.
out.
I'm an open book like that. So.
And then me and Matt were doing a band called Good Luck Gentlemen. Was that the one that you had tried for?
Yeah, I tried to
'Cause
rap.
our other buddy Gabriel, who was in the group that started Puddin, Taine, like he was in that group as well. So we were jamming with our other buddies, and then Brandon wanted to start getting into being a singer, rapping kind of thing.
I just wanted
with
you
that.
guys to approve of me.
We did.
Eventually.
That's why we hired you as a singer. That's why you're the singer.
Yeah.
And then after that project had broken up, we were still like kind of hanging out and jamming. Like we put together in 2011 put together a set of covers that like I had lined up to where it would tell a story like throughout the set, like through the songs, like sort of thing. So that was more experience for all of us jamming together. And then we started doing open stage, and then lost Gabriel in 2013. So we were kind of in a stagnant like 6 months about there. Had another drummer join us at the beginning of 2014. Is that when Furball had joined us?
Something. Yeah, like
2014.
I don't
Yeah.
think so.
That's
I don't know.
from 2014 to about 2015, up until the end of 2015, we had our buddy Ethan playing guitar and buddy Furball playing drums. And I had started playing with Zach they were trying to start a
It's like a
side
prog
project kind of
super
thing.
group
Yeah.
project.
Because he was also in the he'd been in the group Human Groove Hormone.
Yeah.
For the last 4 years?
4.5
Since
years.
2012.
we played shows
Yeah.
together. and
Interesting.
stuff,
Yeah.
Very
So we had known of each other
Yeah.
and like had jammed, and then when we had finally wanted to move up in our game, we got Zach to start jamming with us, and then we got Brandon to
Yeah.
join us because he wasn't really doing anything except Levi Cobb
And
too.
we met at the guitar show.
Yeah.
We were just
We met
randomly.
in May of 2016 at the Dallas International Guitar Festival.
Really?
Like just off
Yeah.
the cuff.
Yeah,
Just
just
randomly?
Yeah.
Well,
like-
I had brought a buddy with me who had known Brandon,
Okay.
and then introduced.
And
him.
I
We
was
were
like, oh,
Yeah.
cool, Denton people in Dallas. I'm going to pal around with y'all. And then,
Yeah.
like, a couple months later, you're like, hey, come jam.
yeah, and
or
then-
something like
so
that.
then we
and then it
all
just,
got together, and it
yeah.
just fell into place.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah,
So,
man.
yeah, that's what I love, man. You
It's
just
we
good
just
people
all
coming
met
together
through like
jamming.
coincidence. It's
Yeah.
just coincidence.
It's better for that to happen
basically.
serendipitously
Yeah,
than
you know,
like
yeah.
some weirdo
Yeah.
on Craigslist.
Yeah,
ad.
you know?
yeah.
I did that once.
Yeah.
It's not.
We've
it's
all
not pretty.
done that once.
It's not pretty.
What's
Many
fu-
times.
Yeah, what's
Yeah.
funny is, so the band Mojo, a couple of those guys, it was a Craigslist thing, and then
Nice.
they like actually became like friends, and it was all
Right.
good.
Well, they're one of the lucky few.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
there are
Lucky,
diamonds in the
lucky
rough.
few.
there are some moments.
Yes.
Yeah, like I've had
Moments.
I've-
Yes.
yeah.
Mo Jomans?
Well, you guys, yeah, Mo Jomans, exactly. So, Wax Logic, the band Wax Logic, when Daniel Forrester first started putting that project together, he posted on Craigslist, and that was how I don't know. Have y'all ever heard of a band called Off World by chance?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
We actually
Ky-
played
yeah,
at the
so
Deep
Kyle
Elm.
so Kyle
Yeah.
Downs
Yeah.
who's in that band. Kyle Downs who's in that band.
Yeah.
He ended up finding Daniel Forrester his like advert to be in Wax Logic, and that's how all of us ended up in Wax Logic. Was
Interesting.
Craigslist, as weird as that sounds.
Nice.
What is going on?
I know
It
things-
happens,
There's
man.
good
It
things
happens.
every once in a while that happen
man.
on Craigslist. That's
This needs to happen more often.
Yeah, you know.
To
It's-
everyone in
Should
Denton.
find a new basis.
Everyone.
What?
So, I feel like if I had to throw like the perfect dance party show, I would have y'all, Mojo, and then of course you got to have Star Party in there.
Yeah,
but
of
y'all,
course.
like that would be a lot of fun. And there's probably even another band in there that I'm missing.
Yeah, I
that
think
would
the Logic
definitely
would be
a part of
great.
the scene. Yeah.
Wax Logic would be awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Throw Wax
Yeah.
Logic up there too. Exactly. That would
Yeah.
be a lot of fun. I mean, that show would probably be like 7 hours long, given the amount of jam.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
You could put all of those members on the stage at the same time, though, and y'all could probably all play a song that would be. It would be like the super
would-
jam
yeah,
of
that'd
Bonnaroo.
be-
Yeah.
Yes.
It'd
Pretty
be
epic.
fun.
That's what they
Yeah.
invented coffee for.
So what is
it's-
when you guys? So what is Dance Party 2 about? We've got you guys throw dance parties. We have fun, we groove. But what is Dance Party 2 about? And it's DANZ PARTI with an accent.
accent.
Yeah,
we got
yes,
the
yes.
accent.
When
So what
Italian,
is Dance
it's
Party?
accento.
Or no, it's not
Yes.
Dance Party 2. It's just Dan's Party.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
I thought I saw a 2 there. It's just Dan's Party. So
Yeah.
is Dan's a person, or do we just like the Z for
Well, when we came up with the song, I can tell a story. When we came up with the song originally, it was like, because have you know about silent discos?
Mm-hmm.
So you go into the place and everybody has just headphones on and everybody's
Yeah.
dancing around. So really the like big umbrella thing about this song is like going into that environment and being like just being weirded out, trying to talk to another girl like while you're dancing, then she's like taking off the headphones like, what? Because it just sets up that from the beginning, like a guy getting ready to go to the club, like be like really into getting to
dancing
dance,
and all,
then
yeah.
getting out there and it just like goes from awkward to like all the way to like as awkward as possible. By
It's
the
the
end.
most realized version
Yeah.
of what it's like to go to a dance party.
What it's like to be a hipster at a dance party. In
Yeah.
town.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying, but that's a bit of comedy in the
Yeah,
writing of the
that's what
music
I was
there.
gonna
That's
say,
yeah.
funny. So what I guess how do you guys go about writing? Who does somebody come up with an idea? Is there a rhythm? Does he write some lyrics and come to y'all, or is it just you all come together and it starts?
Oh, don't ask me
there?
on the drums.
Yeah.
I just play drums.
I want to say
That's
it's
all I
happened
do.
in almost every single one of those ways. Like
Yeah.
sometimes
Yeah, exactly.
Brandon will bring lyrics sometimes, but we'll already have a jam that we kind
Mm-hmm.
of fleshed out a little bit. and we'll just
There's
kinda-
been a few of them where I just wrote the bass line, brought it to the guys, and we just jammed on it for a while. Then Brandon would take that music home and write
Yeah.
lyrics to it, and then we would slowly finalize it all together.
So as a
Yeah.
bassist, because I played guitar and I played keys, I've never played the bass, and so when you are what do you think is kind of a difference between writing on a bass compared to writing on a guitar? Because you have songs where the bass can be, I mean, in funk music, we're there a lot of the time for the,
totally,
that kind. Yeah.
yeah.
So how is it when you're writing
That's
on a
Brett.
bass? How do you kind of think that's different from writing on a guitar per se?
I think it's about the same. Really.
Okay.
As long as you have that like basis of like the chord progression
Yeah.
or what the line that you want to do, like you'll be able to put the stuff that you
Okay.
need to on top of it. Because what I normally do, like since I've only played bass, like I also play guitar as well, but for a lot of my writing stuff, I'll write the bass line and then some basic form of lyrics or something where I want to take it or the idea of what I want the song about, and then I'll come up with an A part and a B part and then try to mix those together in the right possible way.
We have a comment.
Very
Patrick
cool.
Hamilton.
Hooray.
Patrick Hamilton, I would love
Hey,
that
it's
show.
my boy
Let's see it.
Patrick.
Oh, yeah.
What's up, boy?
Wait, I feel like I know a Patrick Hamilton. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I might.
He
I don't know.
busks a lot.
Yeah, he
around.
busts. He plays some
He
guitar.
busks a lot around here. I don't
Yeah.
know. That's not the Patrick Hamilton.
I wouldn't have
I'm thinking
Thanksgiving
of,
with
but-
that guy.
But thanks
He's
for
great.
commenting, Patrick.
We've actually we already had that show.
Oh.
I was gonna say something. I was gonna interject, but we already talked about that.
Wasn't
Yeah.
that at Backyard?
Well,
Yeah,
what
it
I'm
was at
yeah. So
Backyard.
y'all recently had a show at Backyard, but I'm very
Yeah.
excited. When someone said, "Hey, do you want to play with Puddin, Taine, and Joe?" I was like, "Yes." I absolutely, because I met
Thanks,
y'all for
man.
the first
Yeah,
time at
appreciate it.
Harvest House.
Yeah,
I had seen you around town. What's funny is I actually see you running often.
Really?
Do you wear a weight vest?
I do sometimes. Yeah.
You were
And-
getting it one day, and I was like, "Yo, Puddin, Taine frontman is in some serious shape."
And I
it
was.
was
Yeah.
so it was on the corner of so you take Locust down by the baseball fields,
Right.
way down there, and there's there used to be, I think it's Black Tie
yeah.
Liquors is what it's called now. It was right there. I saw you
okay.
running. So the one question that I do have for you, man, is
Yeah.
is fitness like a serious part of your life? You know, you were like, you're gonna wear a weight vest and you were getting it. You know?
Yeah.
he does that just
And
about
I'm
every
telling you,
day.
man, he like it was like one of those things where he was like,
Not every day.
Not every day.
like he just got doing some serious sprints.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean it's important. Well, especially like when I want to take my clothes off while we're playing.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I feel like people don't really want to see.
Flab.
So I'm trying to look fab.
He's doing it for you,
And
y'all.
so, yeah,
Exactly.
That's
I
my
am.
job. Yeah.
I'm trying
Yeah,
to look
we
fab
have that if
for
we
it.
need
That's,
it.
yeah.
If
If
there
like,
was-
y'all need
yeah.
flab. That's,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
me.
it's there.
If there,
But-
you've got your motivation.
Well, and I mean, it makes it so I can like run
thanks.
around during the show.
Yeah, and you keep that
interact with
energy up
people.
on stage, for
exactly.
sure.
And still
Yeah.
be able to sing, kind of. So.
Well, no, I went home and put on my shoes and started running too. I was like, no, he can't. He
Yeah.
can do it. I can. I
He's the
can
most
do it.
energetic singer I've seen in Denton.
Yeah,
And
it's,
I've seen them all.
Thank you, Zach.
it's a lot of
I
fun.
was just
do
kidding.
that
I was just
again.
kidding, man. I was
Yeah,
kidding.
yeah,
I was gonna do it.
So,
You're like second. Second.
so we've got our show coming up on Thursday. Yes, it's Thursday.
Come at you like
and I'm very excited for it. I think it'll be because unfortunately most of the time it likes to rain whenever I play shows, and so I've had to. It'll only be my second time playing on the big stage, and I don't know if y'all have been to Backyard, but they put a bunch of grass down.
Yeah.
recently,
Yeah, I
so it's
noticed that,
getting rid of
yeah.
a lot of the mud that's going on there.
Because I went to that drag queen
Um,
show and it was like complete.
Sharon Needles?
Yeah, the Sharon Needles show.
Yeah, I played that, and it was
Great.
it was pretty muddy.
covered
I had a
in
blast.
mud.
Dude, you were incredible.
That was the most people
Yeah.
I've
You were
ever played
amazing.
in front
Yeah,
of.
it was great.
And
you
I
did.
was-
Can I shake your hand?
I was
Can I
absolutely.
kiss your hand? Is that weird?
Go ahead. I don't mind. I was
All right,
absolutely.
it's
I
weird
was.
now.
I was
Okay.
absolutely. I
So
was
intimate,
absolutely
man. Oh,
terrified.
I use a little tongue.
I was terrified when I got up there. But what's funny is I saw
Sorry, I'm
this
not
guy
sorry.
in the crowd.
Yeah.
I saw
Yeah.
I saw the
Yeah.
friendly fro from
Yeah,
afar,
there was-
and it
Friendly fro. I'm
and
gonna
it,
say
and,
it
it,
from
and, it,
now on.
and it comforted me. And so I'm excited to get out
I was
there
there for you.
with y'all and have some fun. And I feel like it's a really good lineup, and I really like the way they titled it. Was like
Yeah.
like
Some nice dudes.
Yeah, music with
Yeah.
some nice dudes.
Some nice
You know, Tiffany, she was like, I think that's what I'm gonna call it because y'all are all just such nice dudes.
Yeah.
And you know, and I was thinking, like, you know, like, you know, sometimes there's some drama around town, but you never hear. And here's the thing: how can you get mad at somebody named Puddin Taine? You just can't. It brings good feelings. So
It really does.
so you know, a lot of people like that's the whole thing. Is like I feel like you know you see the name Kind Beats, and then everybody knows what a nice guy Joe is in the first place, and then
Yeah,
you see
yeah,
Puddin
yeah.
Taine. Like I
It's
think
funny
it's
because
because
like when I mention to people what band I'm in, I say Puddin Taine, and instead of like, oh that's cool, they always laugh.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
always laugh. And they're like,
Yesterday-
"Huh,
What'd you
I like
say?
that. That's
Yesterday
cool."
we were doing
Yeah.
some pictures over there in front of the courthouse over there, and what was that? That like I don't know if he's homeless, but that
Steve,
like,
I think it's
yeah, his
Steve,
name was
yeah.
Steven.
Steven.
He walked
Yeah,
by
yeah,
and he was
yeah.
like,
Steve
"What was
Baldwin.
that?" He was
He
like
was
reading
Steve
reading our
Baldwin.
shirts.
Yeah,
He was
we
like, "What's
know
that say?"
Steven.
What's that say? Like, it's Puddin Taine.
Puddin'
Like,
Taine.
oh, I haven't heard that in years. Like, oh wow,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
While
see?
we were like,
Yeah.
while we
It's
were
not
laying
just
on
me.
grass and doing
Yeah.
pictures, you're saying that.
Well, he'll
yeah.
come in and just hang out sometimes. I wouldn't be surprised if he shows up tonight and he'll just kick it and watch the interviews.
Yeah.
He's a nice dude.
Yeah,
So y'all are playing at Backyard. What other venues have y'all played at in Denton?
All of them.
Have
Abbey
y'all,
Underground a
No.
lot.
Probably.
Not
Nice.
quite. We're trying.
Andy's.
Getting
did
there.
y'all ever play Haley's when it existed?
We did.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was
Okay.
That
probably
was
That-
dude,
I
I
didn't-
played
I
there
wasn't there.
so much.
Yeah, I used
That
to play
was
there a lot.
My favorite venue.
What
then.
was the first?
Yeah.
What was the
Loved
first?
that place.
With who I'm seeing here right now, what was the first show that y'all played together?
Audacity
Audacity.
Brewhouse.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
together, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everybody.
Audacity.
When was that?
That was January 23rd, I want to say, of 2016,
Yeah.
something like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very
we played
cool.
in. I was like one of the we played inside,
Yeah.
and they wanted 2 hours out of us. For like within like the first month and a half that we were putting music together.
Who was the guest?
Puddin'.
Who was the guest singer?
Our
then?
Kiki, she came
Kiki,
in and
yeah.
sang
Yeah,
a few
she's-
songs.
Oh, that's
with us.
right.
She
Yeah,
was
fantastic.
great. She was
Yeah.
great.
You know who? Oh
She's
man,
really
who else?
Yeah.
I would also like to see y'all even play with Soul Patrol. Soul Patrol too.
Man,
like,
we
that'd be
did.
good.
We have
Yeah, I
played
think
with
we
Soul
played
Patrol a
with
couple
yeah,
times.
I feel like you know
Yeah.
because you and Will have a lot of the same energy and vibes
Yeah.
on stage. You know where you really just put on the vibes.
Well, I
you
try
know,
to be
like-
friends with the guy too,
Yeah.
like outside.
Yeah,
and he's
yeah.
just like, no. he keeps rejecting me. So
He's
it's,
a
okay,
he's,
buddy.
he's yeah.
no,
it's okay.
it's really not okay,
He'll-
but I
he'll-
appreciate the comforting words.
He'll love you eventually. It happens. You know. So
Whatever.
yeah. So when y'all are playing live shows together, do you guys have any? Is there like because some bands will kind of go eat at the same place every time, or you know they'll all kind of get together. Do you guys have any like pre-show ritual that goes on like when you're at the venue? Do you guys all huddle together and you know because you're wearing the shirts? I kind of feel like y'all have to get together and do some type of chant.
Well, we can't
I
really
mean-
say what we
Yeah,
do.
that's what I was.
Because
yeah.
it's like
Confidential.
Not,
Ancient
Chinese
few-
secret.
yeah,
Ancient
it's,
Chinese secret,
Some
huh?
Illuminati
Yeah.
stuff. So,
We like to make pentagrams and sing
Yeah,
sometimes.
some
Whoa,
Beyonce.
whoa, whoa.
Jay-Z
There's
type
definitely
things.
I thought
usually
we did
like a
that.
ceremonious libation.
Yeah,
And we
you
like
gotta,
to do.
you gotta, yeah, you know. So, what is one of y'all's favorite places? Actually, let's see. I don't know. Maybe everybody's got a different opinion on this, but
Yeah.
what is one of your favorite places to play in Denton? You know, let's start with you. What's one of your favorite places to play at?
Backyard on Bell is
For
my
sure.
favorite place to play because they have great people,
Yeah.
great food and drink prices, $2 mimosas every day,
This is true.
and I mean they just have a great ambiance. And we're playing there Thursday, July 6th.
Sixth, yeah,
Sixth?
sixth.
Yeah.
Six.
What about you? What's one of your favorite spots?
Probably Abbey Underground right now. It's treated me really nice.
Very
in the last
cool.
few-
Yeah,
last
you know,
year
and
a half.
and one thing that I love about both the places that y'all just mentioned is shout out to the sound guys.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
Oh
and the
man,
sound
I love the
ladies.
sound guys.
The sound
Yeah.
guys and the sound
All those
ladies out
guys,
there, yeah.
man.
Without
Love 'em.
those people, yeah, we don't ever
Yeah.
sound that good. You know,
real,
and that
right.
takes a lot of
They
time.
make,
It takes a
they
lot
make
of
a sound
patience.
No, that's correct.
professional.
Yeah, the
and
patience that takes.
cool.
I
Yeah.
remember they did a festival over at Backyard on Bell, and it was called Deep Trouble.
Yeah.
And my buddy Mark Zimmerman walked up to Tiffany Johnson, and he was like, "I have a lot of respect for what you do now because he
Yeah.
and Keldrick were running that festival,
Right.
and we're putting that all together, and we're helping to make and him and
every
Tony
time I
Snow
go to
and
every time I go to Backyard and Bell, I see Tiffany Johnson just running.
yeah,
that's
running
what
back
she
and
does.
forth, running
She's
back
one
and
of the
forth.
hardest- yeah,
I'm too
yeah.
afraid to go say hi, otherwise
She's-
I break
yeah.
her momentum.
She's very hard. Do not
Yeah.
get in her way. She
No,
will trample
yeah.
you. All right?
She'll
She's
literally
actually
go over you.
yeah, she's
She'll
doing
run over
yoga
you.
out there right
She
now.
should
Yeah.
do.
She's
She should
doing
be in the
yoga
NFL
soon.
draft because she's like, toppling people.
Yeah, just so. What's one of your
Okay.
favorite spots?
I'd say
Thanks,
Dan
Brandon.
Silverleaf.
Dan
because
Silverleaf. Nice.
I remember going to the original spot when I was like 3 or 4
Yeah.
with my dad unloading in the back, and it's
Okay,
just
so
always been kind of an
Did-
iconic.
you grew up in Denton.
Yeah,
Okay, cool. And so, tell me one more time. Your dad played guitar, but
and
specifically
pedal steel
Okay,
was
so-
his specialty.
Okay,
yeah.
so what is pedal steel? So it's
it's kind
for
of like
those of us who don't really
Yeah.
know, who are ignorant of the
a
pedal steel.
Hawaiian instrument that was adapted to country music.
Okay.
So like, I don't know how to explain. It's kind
So
of
I
a
guess in
whiny
Hawaiian, when you hear
instrument.
that like wah 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 kind of feel,
Yeah.
in country it's more it's
let me
a
show
little
It's
bit-
it's very
Yeah.
weepy instrument. It's very like
Eh.
sounds like it's crying almost. Is the only way I can explain.
It's like playing an organ that has strings. Like it has so many pedals.
Yeah.
And knobs.
So
and
did your did your grandpa play music? Is there a long musical history in your family?
No, but his step family when he moved from San Diego to Odessa Permia, which was
Nice.
really
Yeah.
weird. He had a surfboard and super hippie, and he was in West
Moved
Texas.
to the Permian.
But
Yeah.
all of that family played music together, kind of like a bluegrass family style. But he always got the lap steel, which
Mhm.
is a more primitive version of the pedal steel.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like he just adapted it, and when he got to college, he actually took all his grant money and bought a pedal steel instead of going to college. So like
it's a
That's
worthy
usually how it
investment.
starts.
yeah, so like so it worked out for him. But yeah,
he took
it's a
risk.
weird
and it
instrument.
worked out well.
That
It's
is a
definitely-
definite
What was-
rock star story.
What was Dan Silverleaf? How long what was it originally when you were 4
It
years
was at
old?
Dusty's.
Oh, it was. Very
Yeah,
It was
and then
Dan's bronze leaf.
Gotta work it out.
It's getting
Yeah.
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 So
workshop
wait, so
that.
Dusty's used to be Dan's.
Mhm. and then we loaded in the back. I remember all the time. And then I forget when I was like, it was funny. I told Dan this the other day. I was like, man, I remember going into your old spot, and he looked at me real weird, and he was like, you were not old enough to get in my bar when. And I was like, well, my dad was a musician. He was like, oh, okay, cool.
That's
You know,
interesting.
it's like,
you know? That's it's like I grew up. My dad was an athletic instructor for 35 years, and so a very different.
yeah,
upbringings.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
you know?
very.
You know,
Yeah.
I used to go play racquetball and tennis, and you were going to smoky clubs and
Ex-
bars. helping
exactly.
your dad load in his stuff.
Part of it, my mom worked the
He was
night
the
shift
coolest
too,
kid.
and like,
Yeah.
so I'd have to go with them. It's like
It was
there
almost like your
wasn't really,
daycare.
yeah, there wasn't really daycares at
I feel
2
like
o'clock in the morning. Like, you know,
That's
like-
what Dan's is, daycare.
Yeah.
So,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Dan's
That's
daycare and
fantastic.
parlor. Dan's
Yeah.
daycare and parlor.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Ran out of milk, so I got
There's water.
alcohol.
That's fine.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, what is one of your favorite places to play?
Definitely Backyard on Bell. I mean, we played a lot of shows there lately, and I've been going to more shows there lately because I really like the environment. And
Yeah.
There are a lot.
It's a fun time.
The atmosphere is nice.
It's definitely
there for
my
sure.
favorite place to chill.
Quality
it's a
ether.
good spot.
Yeah.
Quality ether.
Yeah, very nice.
Quality ether.
So when you started playing did you go to school to play saxophone, or because you said that you compose? I mean, you do some composing as well, or
Well, yeah,
what
I
was
mean,
the word? I forget.
I mean, technically, I was like studying composition, but when you go to UNT, I mean, you like have to have an instrument, and you have to take lessons and have classes in that too.
That's really cool. That's really cool.
Lessons.
Yeah, lessons. But my uncle would always say, like, he's awesome at the guitar and plays harmonica and can do all kinds of, and he's just very, very talented as far as that. But he would always say, like, it's good to just pick up the instrument at first and start kind of playing around and having fun, and then kind of develop a feel for it, and then start taking, if you really like it, then start taking some lessons. And after you've developed some finger and wrist strength,
well, and it kind of goes back to that illiterate thing. It's like if you only are taught how to read stuff, you're going to get really good at reading. And some people don't know how to read, and they can still speak irregardless. And it's like, it's better to have both. But
being able to read and feel instead of or.
Yeah. But at the same point, like, nobody should be ashamed of having either or. You know, I do think the grass is obviously going to be greener on the other side no matter what. But I've noticed a lot of people do have either or, and there are some that really have both and can really.
Yeah, when I first started, I first started playing guitar because I actually got grounded in the 10th grade for bad grades. And my dad.
That's your punishment?
Yeah, my dad grounded me for
gosh.
bad grades. And so he had a guitar, but my dad has very, very fat fingers. This is self-admitted.
Right.
Because he worked construction, so he crushed them with a hammer a lot throughout his life.
Yeah.
So he could never play. He could never play the guitar. He would have been great at bar chords. You know,
Right.
yeah. But he could never play the guitar. So when I couldn't do anything that weekend. So I picked up the guitar, and he had a chord book, and I started playing. And I to this day, like, I don't know a G from an F from a C to a D. I have no idea, but I can grab a guitar and I can play. But what frustrates me is when I was in high school and I was trying to play with bands, it was very hard for me to play because I had to be the lead because I didn't know what to play behind other people, but I wasn't good enough to be the lead. So like y'all are saying, you want to have both of those. You want to be able to feel the music, but also be able to hear a guy play and go, I know what that is. Nowadays, I've done it long enough to I can do it, but at 16, 17, after only a couple years of playing, very frustrating.
You hear this stuff and you're just like, how do I get it out?
Yeah,
like,
I feel like I should just be able to go, I can hear the tone, but I can't recreate it.
Yeah.
And even when I'm writing music now, it takes me a very long time to, if I'm writing something original, I'm not sampling stuff, it takes me a very long time to find something that produces the emotion that I'm looking for. And usually I think that's what it is that I'm looking for an emotion, and I don't know what key that emotion matches to, like the pros. You know, if I'm like, if I want to sit down and I want to write some neo soul, you know, I'm going to go to YouTube and have to watch videos on how to write
No shame in that,
neo-soul.
though. There's no shame in that.
know?
I Google everything
And
now.
then I realized how little I really know on the piano and the chords and the structures that that people can come up with. You know, so when you guys are sitting down to write, you know, this is going to be for everybody. Okay. You know, this question's for everybody. When y'all sit down to write, how do the chords? How does the structure? Because it's a lot of funk music, and so are there certain chords and certain structures that are kind of essential to the sound of funk, or can you just kind of blend it with whatever you feel? You know,
it's a little bit of both, probably. I would say.
Okay.
Because it really comes from what we listen to and what inspires us. Mm-hmm. I know for my sake, I take a blend of everything I listen to on a regular basis, and I put that into the mix.
Okay.
And see what works in the mix and what doesn't. Mm-hmm. So I'll just take something like that out. But with funk drumming, it always comes back to that simple funk rhythm that always hits the heart of this band.
Righteous. Okay.
And it as soon as that structure comes into play, we just build on top of it. Like, they'll come up with ideas, but until we get that structure
when I'm writing
done,
a song, I usually just stick with the bass line.
Yeah.
And I leave the harmony parts up to those guys because they're better at it than me.
If we
That's
had,
why you hired us.
Yeah.
If we can have like a solid foundation, like to base things off of.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I usually tend to roll.
Very cool. Very cool.
We don't make mistakes.
Just happy accidents.
All
You
the
know?
Exactly.
Just like Bob Ross says.
Happy.
You know?
Happy little treat.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, a lot
So-
of yeah.
You know, we've got the shows coming up.
Yeah.
Now I'm like I said, I'm super excited for it. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm playing
You are
at
so too.
Backyard, and then the next night, if y'all are out and about, oh man, sorry.
That was great.
If y'all are out and about, and you walk by LSA Burger, feel free to come up. Me, Lofty, and then Mojo are gonna be playing at LSA Burger on Friday night.
We'll
Oh,
be
heck
playing
yeah.
there on the 29th of July.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Star Party.
Oh. Okay, I want to make sure I'm
Yes.
working that night so I can
All
get
right, I'm
paid
to
to
it.
listen to great music.
That's right. Yeah,
That's the one thing that is awesome about working at a place that does have music is I get to like get paid in a way to just like hang out with the bands. Like,
Right.
you know, what always gets what I oh man, y'all might have experienced this too is when you get into a band, all of a sudden you like all of your friends become other people in bands, and you realize you
Yeah.
can't ever go to your friends' shows because you're all playing shows at the
Yeah.
same time. It's this
That is
bittersweet moment.
We play so much that it ends up happening to us too. It's cool. I mean,
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
know,
So
yeah.
where you know where's Puddin' Taine going in the future? What do we got going on? You know what's in the future?
Well,
We got
we're-
an album.
We're finishing up an
Yeah.
album. We just finished up our latest single for Dance Party,
Nice.
and we have, I guess, 3 other songs that are in the
Working.
mixing and mastering
Yeah.
part. So we have 7 songs. Working on trying to get another 3 to have a full 10-song LP at least by the end of the year, maybe fall, something like that within
Excellent.
like the later
Yeah.
part of this year,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll have a video coming out pretty soon too.
Yes, for Dance Party.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Is-
trying to get
I
more
was
shows.
like, was there a teaser for that video out somewhere? I don't know. Somebody.
Yes, for sure.
Yes.
Brandon
Was
has
there?
posted it on the Puddin' Taine page.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
it's-
cool. Because I just went to it today and saw it.
it's
That's what I
around,
thought.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool. Very cool. That's
great.
awesome.
And then trying to get other shows like not in Denton to like start like spiraling out. And
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
more out there,
definitely.
you know?
Yeah, you've got like I've played a couple shows in Fort Worth. I've played a couple shows down in Dallas, and it is fun to expand. But it is a little strange at first, like just from I'm just a producer DJ types, you know. So
Oh, it's so strange from like you'll have a show in Denton where you get like so much love, then we'll have
Uh-huh.
a show in Fort Worth and like people are just talking over you. So
Yeah.
like that's okay. We're still here to do this.
yeah,
All right.
exactly. So, but you've got to get out there and you've
Oh,
got to
sure.
do it, and it's important.
The more you
to-
play,
Well,
the
and
more
now-
people will be able to pay attention.
Now at like Aardvark and stuff, they've seen us and they're probably gonna call us on a hotter night than
Yeah.
what
yeah,
we
I
played.
played the Aardvark
hopefully.
too. Actually, I played down.
It's a
I
cool
played
place.
That.
I really
Yeah.
like that bar.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It was, it was actually one of the few venues I've ever been to that had a green room. But my favorite thing
Yeah.
was the
That's
toilet
right,
was
yeah.
like right there.
Yeah.
I did
Like,
notice
it was-
that too. I was
yeah,
like,
it was me,
Yeah.
me, Mojo, and Svinny Baby played it out there, and we were
Vinny baby.
yeah, and
nice.
we were like, "What
oh,
is
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and we were just kind of like, all right, well, okay, I guess we get a bathroom and green room smashed
When
into
in
one.
need.
It's like an efficiency
Yeah,
screen.
yeah, exactly. Well,
Is
that's
there a
cool.
kitchen in here
So-
too?
It's a Japanese apartment.
So we're gonna have
That's what it
10
is.
songs on the new album.
Yes.
That's what we're going for.
That's
That's
the goal.
exciting. And so we're hoping maybe by the end of the year, possibly fall. That's going to be cool. I'm hoping that there's a release party. We
Oh,
always
absolutely.
do
Oh,
that.
There will
absolutely.
definitely be a
Like
big
they,
thing for that.
we're not putting Taine without a release
I
party.
feel like Puddin' Taine should have a bubble machine on stage. You know, like that would. I don't know.
We did
maybe
have a
I'll-
fog machine on our
Yeah,
last big
Yeah,
show.
we had
Maybe,
a
you
fun
know,
Bubbles would be great though.
I think bubbles
Yeah.
would go really, really well. So
Yeah, we need to work on that.
Lasers,
you know,
fog.
we always end the show with something
What?
because I like to know what kind of snacks I can bring the performers when they're playing their shows. Certain individuals might have avocados thrown at them at times. You know, who knows? Who knows what'll
Those are
happen?
good. Those are good.
Well,
too
we've
healthy
had
for
yeah,
me, man. Too
we've
healthy.
had. I remember Leland, the front guy from Mojo. He was like, just crackers. I was like, no, come on, man. You know, I've had one person who liked avocado with cracked Icelandic sea salt.
That's good.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
That was DJ.
Yeah,
I
man.
know. I wanted.
Yeah, I really want to try
Brandon, you should make that for us after
Yeah.
this is done.
Yeah.
Nope.
So
Not
Brandon,
for you, for everyone else.
Yeah.
What's wrong with me?
yeah.
Because you just
Got a problem?
demanded it. You didn't ask nicely.
Well, yeah, I demanded it because
Yeah, of course.
he really wants
I'm
it.
trying to like
Yeah.
you know.
So
build
Brandon,
you
what
up,
is
man.
one of your favorite snacks, man? Like,
Oh,
you
dude,
know?
Reese's peanut butter cups, but the
Yes.
extra big cups
Oh, really?
with the nuts.
Dang.
Okay, cool.
With the nuts.
Yeah.
From the
that's-
refrigerator?
That sound. Ooh,
After
you like
putting
them
it in the
cold?
fridge?
I
I go the fridge.
Okay.
Cold's
Okay, yeah.
fine, but then I have to wait for it to cool down.
Oh,
Like,
I'd
I'd rather
yeah.
just stuff it in my mouth.
Buy
exactly.
2, put 1 in the fridge.
Yeah.
Or have 5, put one in the fridge, maybe.
Yeah. Well, how about you, man? What's one of your favorite snacks?
Oh, I guess snack stuff would be like.
Here, go ahead and just hold up your
All right,
bag.
well, I got this.
Show us what we have in the handy bag we've got down here.
What I grabbed today is some gummy dinosaurs.
They were delicious.
Got some of that.
They were good.
And one of my favorite go-tos is peanut butter, or not just peanut butter, not
Peanut
I
peanuts.
love
Peanut
the
M&Ms.
peanut
Yes,
butter
yes.
M&Ms.
And of course, one of my favorites, an Abba Zaba.
Abba
Taffy
Zaba.
that
Nice.
let's see, taffy that has peanut butter in the center, and it's delicious.
I've never had
Can't
an
go wrong.
Abba Zaba.
I've seen them.
That's why I love
Yeah.
having Atomic Candy on the square now, because they have all of them, and of course, regular Sprees with the hard candy shell, not the soft.
Regular
I
Sprees.
love Sprees.
Nice.
Regular, the hard
Love
candy shell
Sprees,
has.
yeah.
This man is very specific on his candies. Now, I have a question for you.
Yes.
This is something we debated last week. It's something I've been talking with a girl that I work with over at LSA, and I want to know. So, is chocolate candy and is candy chocolate? But is candy specifically like hard, like gummy worms or like not lifesavers? Those are poor excuse for a candy. I'm sorry, Dad. I told you that a long time ago. Anyways, moving on. Is it so? What makes candy, and is chocolate candy? Is candy chocolate? Are they interchangeable? I gotta know.
My entire life, I always considered chocolate a candy.
Thank you.
Because it's
I
You
I
hear that,
consider-
Madison? You hear
Blame
that,
it on
Madison?
Yeah.
not only can it be an ingredient, it's also a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can, a lot of the ones that are Reese's Pieces,
Yeah.
hard candy shell, peanut butter, and chocolate.
See?
Yeah.
Well, that's what she would say too. She'd be like, "It's a candy shell."
Yeah.
But the M&M, but the chocolate inside is chocolate, not candy.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
there's
that-
the argument for like legit chocolate, like like that nice
What is
stuff
this?
you get from
80%
Belgium
dark
and
cocoa with.
I just love this conversation. I know personally, it's like you got the quiet
Yeah.
saxophone player. All of a sudden, he's like, "Actually, if we had to truly discuss the dark cocoa, I've got something to say now."
We take
matter
our
of fact.
snacks very
Yeah,
seriously.
he's like, "Finally,
Yeah,
something
but
we
I
can
mean,
discuss."
it's still candy at the end of the day, though, no matter like how nice.
That's what I like to
If you
hear.
could put like a ton of sugar in it, and if you eat a ton of it, it'll make you feel sick.
yeah,
then I would
Halloween's
consider it
great.
candy. Yeah.
Halloween's a
I mean,
good time.
you got to
Yeah.
consider, too, what aisle do you buy it on? Do you buy it on the chocolate aisle?
Or do you buy it in the candy
Fresh
aisle?
produce
It's the candy
aisle.
aisle.
Oh,
Yeah, and then
man.
what do you consider a
Candy
Tootsie
aisle.
Roll Pop?
I don't
Because that
know,
has
man.
candy around chocolate,
Oh
too.
goodness! See, the debate goes on. And
How many
on
licks
and
does it
on.
take, man? How
All
many
right.
licks?
We'll
We'll
yeah,
never know.
We'll have to
We'll
get.
never know.
We'll
No,
get
it
a
takes
panel
three.
together.
Yeah.
We'll get a panel
Yeah.
together down at Dan's. We'll broadcast it live. We'll
Whole-
discuss that on
yeah.
stage. You
Can
know,
we do
we'll
like a
talk all-
Shark Tank thing too with
I
candy?
think we should. We'll talk
Fellow
all about
sharks,
it.
I have an idea for you.
So, all right. What is one of your favorite snacks, buddy?
No, not you sharks.
Now, once you said it, avocados are definitely one of my favorite snacks. But
Yeah.
cheese and crackers.
Cheese
right
and
now.
crackers.
Sliced cheese.
I
Are you a
always have it,
specific
yeah.
cheese guy, like a Applewood
Sharp
smoked
cheddar,
Gouda? Oh yes,
like,
I like some
yeah.
Tillamook.
Yeah.
Sign me
man.
up. The Kroger off of University right now has just gotten like the artisan
Oh,
cheese
yeah,
section.
They upgraded, yeah.
Yes, yes.
Don't even.
Yeah,
It's too much, man. I gotta
Yeah.
buy some like watercress stonewood crackers or whatever they call it.
All right, I gotta go to the store. I'll see you
Yeah,
guys
I
later.
end up I find myself watching Frasier drinking Cabernet,
Yeah.
eating cheese by myself. at
Making
the age of
Frasier
30.
references.
It's a great
I
show.
love
It's
Frasier.
a great show.
I love
This is,
Frasier.
we're getting
by the way.
sophisticated now.
It is a great
We're getting
show.
sophisticated
Trust me,
now.
we'll go out for some sherry later, gentlemen.
Yeah,
Yes.
I want some tossed salad. and
Yeah, I hear they're
scrambled
playing.
eggs.
I hear they're playing Mozart at.
Let's go look at fine art
Exactly.
and drink wine.
We can discuss our favorite
eat chocolate, yes.
arias from the operas we grew up with. You know,
Very much.
you know
yes.
a thing or two about that. You know?
Vivaldi.
So,
I'm a
how about for
Vivaldi
you, man?
person.
What snacks do you go for?
Like chips and salsa,
Nice.
sour candies.
Is there a,
licorice.
is there a specific salsa that you like?
Uh,
Do you like hot or mild?
oh,
or-
definitely some spicy salsa for
Right
sure.
on.
I mean, if it's got like onions and cilantro in it, it's probably good.
Nice. Very cool. Very
Nice.
cool. All right. And how about
pretty
you,
good.
man?
Man, I'm a pretty big gummy guy.
Nice. There's a lot
I'm
of
not,
gummies.
I'm not a big candy guy.
Mhm.
I'm not into chocolate. I'm not a sweet guy. But I
You're
like
not. You're a
gummies.
jerk.
One of my favorite kid snacks was
Don't eat that
was
right now.
fruit
You didn't catch
gushers.
it.
If I have to
That's-
listen to you
that's good.
snacking
I was
on that right now,
I
I'll
love
lose it.
fruit gushers and fruit roll-ups.
Oh, man.
Gushers.
Any of
And
those
fruit by
Betty
the foot?
Crocker, any of those Betty Crocker fruit snacks.
Fruit
I'll
by the
eat that
foot.
up.
My goodness,
Yeah.
man. That stuff was good.
I
So-
don't know if this considers a snack too, but cereal.
Yeah.
Big,
Oh, dude, totally.
big
Well,
cereal
yeah,
nut.
so Adam from the
Love
Monkberries,
cereal.
he likes to eat cereal without milk too. He'll just and
sure.
Yeah.
and I had never really done that before. It was like taboo, you know.
Yeah.
It
like,
depends
and-
on the cereal you eat.
Yeah, Golden Grams was
Yeah.
good though. I'm a
Golden
huge
Grams
Golden
is
Grams
great.
guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Golden
Like-
Grams is great with milk or without milk.
Yeah, I mean my
Yeah.
snack of choice is Flamin' Hot Cheetos. It's
There you go. Those
so
are
if
good.
you
Those
ever
are
come to
good,
a Kind
yeah.
Beach show, just throw a bag of those
Okay,
at me. You know?
okay.
You
Get one of
know?
those multi
And a wet
packs.
nap.
Yeah. Oh, when I went to Bonnaroo, actually, my buddy showed up with this huge box of different spicy flavored like chips, like of
Yeah.
all types, like the Funyuns, the
yeah.
Cheetos. And he was like,
Nice.
"We got this for you."
Yeah.
Yeah. So one question that I do want to ask you though, because I wanted to touch on this because you said your parents were opera singers in the '80s. What is opera in the '80s like? Like because it's like when you like I'm
Yeah.
thinking like Tears for Fears at times kind of had a little something
Yeah.
happens, and,
I mean, it's not like Rent or anything like that. But
Yeah.
I know my dad's watching, so I mean, I don't want to screw this up.
That's pretty cool though. So
And my mother is probably watching too in Aspen right now.
I mean that's
it's
got to be
yeah.
fun to grow up with
They're
parents
yelling at
who,
the screen
who
right now,
sing
"Don't
like
do
that
it.
in a way.
Don't
It
do
was.
it.
It actually got annoying after a while because my mother, when she woke us up in the mornings, she would sing to us,
Oh
and
man.
she would sing, "Singing in the Rain, Good Morning" all the time,
Aw.
and I could not stand that
beautiful.
song after like a couple of years.
Oh,
You may think it's
man.
beautiful.
Well,
I
that's
do- I
awesome.
assure you.
It's
I
beautiful.
assure you.
I had,
Listen
I,
to
I had
Zach's
to
mom
ask.
sing it
Yeah.
know,
But like,
Every day.
every day.
it's funny. It's funny to
She
think
sang it
about
to me that one
'cause,
morning.
Like,
Yeah.
because opera, I would think back then was they were just a tour. They toured with a group, kind of like Shakespeare had his own group when he did plays at the Globe Theater. It's the same thing here.
Okay.
They just traveled with a bunch of groups, and they could have gone on to bigger things, but they decided to like have a family instead.
That's cool, man. Yeah, I was just curious,
Yeah.
like you're the first person I've
It's
ever met
interesting,
who
yeah.
has had opera parents, so
Really?
I've had friends who sang, in the
Yeah.
opera, but I've never met someone whose parents
They could still
sang
sing
opera.
so
That's
well.
really cool.
My mother still sings at
Yeah.
the Fort Worth Methodist Church
Awesome.
every Sunday.
What's up,
People
James?
Oh my
James.
gosh, James!
Yeah,
What's
my
up,
my
dude?
dad used to always sing like washing the dishes and things like that,
Oh yeah, my
So-
dad was very like he hid the fact from us
Yeah.
that he sang. I only heard him sing at church.
That's awesome,
Like
man.
only heard my parents
Very
sing
cool.
a lot at church.
That's
and
awesome.
and in choral teaching. Like my dad teaches in Killeen, Texas, Harker Heights High School, Fighting Knights.
Awesome.
And
Gotta
like,
represent.
Yeah, represent.
That's cool,
and
man.
my mother actually teaches here in Keller.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Very.
That's
Opera.
awesome.
Rock the roof.
Opera is a pretty big part of the whole musical genre thing, but like I said in the beginning, I listen to a lot of music, so that's just one part of the bigger picture.
awesome.
With that, man.
Well, guys, I told y'all how quickly an hour is going to go
Yeah,
by.
it's true.
Yeah.
An hour just flew by. If y'all watching right now, and if you maybe just tune in and make sure that you stay tuned, we're going to take a small break. Puddin' Taine's going to set up, and then we're going to have a live performance going on right here in the studio for y'all to check out.
Everyone's showing up now?
Patrick Hamilton showed up in his
Yeah.
Puddin'. Okay, yeah. I was like, I think I know Patrick.
Yeah.
Yeah. I confused you for another Patrick
He
at
be
first.
commenting.
But we're
He's
gonna
our
go on a
corporate
quick
brand.
pause once again. Thank you all for so much for coming in. All right, and
totally.
Thank you.
next week we've got the Southpaw Preachers coming in all the way around. Thank y'all.
You have such
And then-
beautiful hair, man. I thought I just. Let
You know
know.
what? I thought the same when I saw
Yeah.
you myself.
It's very thin,
said,
but
hey,
still
Uh-oh.
thick
Yeah,
too, man.
thank you. Thank
Means
you.
you
I-
can do much with
I
it.
do it.
Yeah.
But if I grow it out, it's just like yours. It just
Dude, this
stacks
took
on top
years
of it. So.
to get it like perfect. I'm not even kidding.
That's awesome. Well, we're going to take a quick break, y'all. And like I said, next week we've got Southpaw Preachers. And then after that, let's see. Oh, my goodness. We're going to have actually Donashay coming on later in. And then he'll be here at the end of the month.
Donkashay.
And then we've also got
No.
Pearl Earl who's coming out. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes,
so
they're
Love
awesome.
those
make
guys.
sure that y'all
Pearl Earl's
tune in.
fantastic.
well,
Make sure that y'all
girls,
tune in
actually.
every
Girls.
single Monday right here on DentonRadio.com from 7 to 8 p.m. Watch Sound Values, where I talk to musicians. We talk life, love, stress, setbacks, snacks, music,
for musicians.
short shirts, and all kinds of good times, all right? Y'all stick around. We'll be right back here on DentonRadio.com. Thank you for tuning in, and shout out to LSA Burger Company for sponsoring the show and keeping it on the
Love
air.
you
Thank
guys.
y'all. Have a great night.
Well, thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to check out DentonRadio.com to find new Denton artists and where they're playing next. While you're surfing the internet, make sure to check out our friends LSA Burger at lsaburger.com.